Oh, we're live. We get to sniff. I get the sniffles with this.
You
This is
got the
not going to be
sniffles?
pleasant. Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant for the audio listeners. I'm just going to be like the whole time. So I apologize in advance.
Maybe it's a tumor.
God, it nice to be a solution. Be
Do you
good.
get the reference?
It's not a tumor.
There you go. I did that in a meeting at
Yeah.
work the other day,
Yeah.
and no one got it. It's sad.
All right. They're all fired. You know who's in charge of flat to VR now? This guy. This guy. It's all Bioshock all the time. What are we going to be done? What are we going to do when we're done porting Bioshock? We're going to port Bioshock 2. What are we going to do when we're done porting Bioshock 2? Well, we're definitely not going to do Infinite. That game sucks. Dude, are you ready to go? You ready to start
Let's
the show?
go.
Let's go.
Let's start.
Oh, Wes, it doesn't matter if I fix it beforehand or not. You're still a blue box. Hold on. There he is. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live. Sirens on my end every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wise Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live. It's like they're on rhythm with me. That's pretty crazy, man. I think I've been playing a lot of Trombone champs, so I'm just kind of in the rhythm of womp, 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 everything around me. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR without Pro, and this gentleman over here to my left, your right. It's Wes Dillon for Virtual Strangers. What's going on, Wes?
Hello, Brian. Hello, everyone. Not much, man. Just getting my wits about me and trying to get my head on for another show. I haven't done a show since I did this show last time. So yeah, feels good to be back in front of a camera in this capacity, I suppose.
Oh, is that where all of our new subscribers are coming from? All the Virtual Stranger subscribers are like, bro, we miss Wes. I guess we got to go subscribe to Without Parole in order to see him again. So I guess that's what's happening.
That they leave quickly. You go 10 days without a show, and they're like, "Screw this."
Oh man, yeah, dude. What I mean, I can only imagine that it's been absolutely crazy over there with Impact Reality, with obviously launching your first game. Is the
Yep.
what's the vibe over there? Everybody like still like kind of going crazy, or everyone relieved, or how? What's the vibe?
Everyone's super hyped right now. We have all worked so hard to try to do everything, absolutely everything in our power to make this a success. And the feedback from players has just been so great that everyone's just over the moon right now. Like, we're all kind of tired and sleep deprived and, really run down. But when you start looking and people are saying, this isn't my type of game, but man, is it fun? And, you look at the reviews and it's like 5 out of 5 and 4.9 average out of 5 stars. Like, we're just blown away and so grateful that everyone seems to be buying in on it and absolutely loving it. So thank you to everyone out there who supported, and not only that, but shared it with your friends and shared your thoughts with us. It's extremely motivating for us and extremely gratifying as well.
I was keeping an eye on Discord when the game launched yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yes.
And obviously, so I think it was about 1 p.m. when it launched, and and everybody had it like wish listed, and everybody was ready to go, and I Discord was suddenly full of people screenshotting them downloading it and or playing it for the first time, and the reception over there was just like through the roof. Everyone's saying mostly how polished it is. That's I don't think you can get a bigger compliment on a VR game, which tend to be pretty unpolished by nature. That was the word everyone kept using, was just so polished. So been very glad to hear that.
I couldn't be prouder of the team of developers that we've assembled here, because I mean, you're looking at this game, right? Like, and you look at this game versus the original Trombone Champ, and you could see that this is a completely different game that we've basically developed ourselves. Like, obviously we've taken their code and their concept, but we've ran with it, and we made this game. I say we, they they made this game what it is. But what's really remarkable about it, you're right. It's extremely, extremely polished. But these guys did this in a very short amount of time, like a very short amount of time. They have not been working on this for a year yet, and it's like this, which is an incredible achievement. We're not a large team at all. Like we're a small team of developers, most of which previously were modders that were doing free unofficial VR adaptations, and we can see in this, what their true potential and their true level of talent is once they have the proper resources and help. Most of these guys have been doing this type of thing on their own for years. Now all of a sudden we've assembled like the A team of VR modders and shown that they're just as talented as the developers at the big studios, if not more so. And when they rely on each other, special things can happen and can happen in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the good thing about this is that, like, I think immediately there's a lot of faith put behind flat to VR now. It's like the concept of saying, hey, we want to take all these games and we want to bring them into VR. Great concept, right? Can these people deliver? Can they actually not just say the right things, but also pull it off? And not bad, man, not bad. There's definitely some confidence in the flat to VR name now. Not that there wasn't before, obviously, right, because of the pool of talent that's there. But pulling off a PSVR2 game and having it be polished, is different than having a PC mod
All
and being like,
platforms,
yeah,
all
and
platforms simultaneously on our first launch in less than a year. How incredible is that? Think about that. That's amazing.
it's pretty incredible. And didn't get delayed into 2025 like all the other games we're going to talk about today.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Hey, just a quick, anybody in the chat who's experiencing a little bit of stutter, any connection problems, I just did a speed test over here, and YouTube was like, hey, there is definitely some issues, and so I don't know if it's the internet over here in my town or what's going on, but hopefully it'll be resolved soon. I'm keeping an eye on it. I apologize. All right, man. Let's tackle some tips here from the cats. We got AJ PSVR Underground says, "Hi, my name is Brian Paul, and you should have by Runner." Okay, you should have by Runner. It's great and so much better than Compound. Also, AJ sucks, but I still love him. I mean, you heard it here first.
You should all have Byrunner.
You should all have by Runner. Guys, keep me posted in the chat if things clear up a little bit, because I'll be anxious until it does. The Game Cat Andrew Ehrenreich with the $5 tip says, "Happy Turkey Eve" or something. IDK. I'm at work and I can't watch right now. Have a good stream in a holiday or something. Andrew Ehrenreich, you may be in luck. You may have a nice smooth experience watching this show while everyone here has to suffer. So, looks like we may be doing okay though. Wes, you got a lot of stuff going on for Turkey Day? You got family and stuff like that? Anything fun going on?
I don't know. So
it's tomorrow.
So we went to my in-laws' house and met with family on Sunday and had our Thanksgiving dinner. We always do this every year. We go to my wife's parents and all of her, her brother's family, all of her nieces and nephews and their husbands and wives and their children. We all convene on this one spot and have dinner on Thanksgiving and Christmas every year. We typically do it on the day, but we decided this year that it would be cool if we could just do it on another day. That way everyone isn't having to bust out and leave and go to other people's house. And, I don't know if you do this in your family, but for us, it's like a marathon tour of visiting this one and then visiting that one. And it's more hectic than enjoyable. So we had our dinner on Sunday. But part of the pitch when my wife told me about this was that we'll be able to stay here on Thursday and not go anywhere, and
Ooh.
we would have our own dinner. I don't know if we're still going to do that. Like we kind of did the whole turkey and dressing thing. We literally just did it. And she hasn't really mentioned anything about wanting to get up and cook all day by herself tomorrow. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to be chilling. I'm not going to be going anywhere or doing anything, which is like the one thing that that if I could pick anything to do, it would be not anything. I've been doing things 24/7, 365 for like weeks and weeks and weeks. So the fact that I don't have to go visit people and I don't really have to work, and I don't have to do anything tomorrow sounds awesome. So I'm not doing anything, Brian. What about you?
Yeah, I got it super easy, I think. Just heading out to my brother's and my sister-in-law's to have, I don't know, it seems pretty early, man. Or I don't know. Listen, I don't understand Thanksgiving. I feel like I never know when it is. And then I never know like when or where I'm supposed to be until like the day before. I literally just found out like an hour ago where and when I was supposed to be tomorrow. But unlike you, I don't have to, I'm single. I don't have to worry about like, my significant other's family. I don't have to worry about, like there's no traveling involved. It's like I go one place and I stay there until I get sick of everybody and then I'm out. And I do get sick of everyone pretty quick. So I've learned not
10
to,
minutes.
yeah, I've learned not to carpool anymore. I used to like, my parents always used to say, hey, we'll pick you up on our way there. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. It's like, I'll just hang out with my parents for a little bit. I love them. And, and then I'll deal with everybody else. But then it's like, I want to leave now. And they're like, we're going to be here for another 2 hours. So I just try myself everywhere now. And so like, I get in there, I stick around for the appetizers and I'm like, I'm out. It's nice.
I think I want to play VR tomorrow. Like I haven't been able to just sit around and play VR for fun in some time. Although I have been making time to play Into Black. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but I've
Only
been
by
playing through
reputation.
it's awesome. I've been playing co-op every few days, putting in a session in that very late at night, and I've almost beaten it. It's got like 20 levels, and we're almost to the end of it now. So I'll probably finish it tomorrow.
Nice. Dude, I have so much I want to do in terms of just work for the channel. Like we've got a top 50 list coming out. I just got voiceovers from the rest of the crew, you guys, like just within the last couple days. And so let me tell you something about editing a top 50 list. Not fun. I'm actually concerned that it's like, so here's the holdup. It was actually going to be out yesterday and possibly even the day before that. My holdup is that I don't know if it's fun to watch, right? Because it's like, oh, hey, here's number 49. Here's number 48. Here's number 47.
Dude,
Here's number 46. Here's number
let
45.
me tell
But
you,
yeah,
these people love lists. They love them. They eat them up, bro.
I know. I
You're
I
doing the
just
right
want it
thing.
to be more entertaining, right? Like, so I wrote like an intermission, and I wrote some a new script for honorable mentions, and I tried to I just want to break it up with things, and but I think what's happening is that I need to subscribe to the old saying that perfect is the enemy of the good, right? It could be the greatest video ever made, but it might not come out until next year and then be totally outdated. So maybe just being good enough and actually being out there on the channel is what I need to be focused on.
Well,
Just get the job done.
there's a number of things that you can do. The type of stuff you do on a top 20 list. On a top 50 list, you
Just get
got
the
to go,
job done.
man. Yeah, you can't dilly dally. You gotta make it to number one, because if not, you're gonna be here all day.
That's true. That is very, very true. All right. Well, maybe I'll just suck it up and just get it out tonight, no matter, just to have it done. I will say, we were sort of like, we didn't want to wait for anything, right? Because Behemoth is just far enough away where we're like, man, if we wait for Behemoth, then we're gonna have to wait for Alien, and if we wait for Alien, then we got to wait for Arcade. If we wait for Arcade, we got to wait for, it's the vicious cycle. And so we're like, let's just get it out, and so but at the same time, I was still saying, man, what if Exocars comes out? Like what if there are games here and there, like Deadland Polygon is totally going to be out next week.
What about Undead Citadel? What if it stealth drops tomorrow?
Right. I mean, and that's the risk we take. We roll the dice, and we say I listen. I end the top 50 list by saying this was a super long video, and worse than that, it's going to be outdated within days. So everybody enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to make any sense in about a week.
Nope,
Yeah,
not exactly a week.
Jen Eric says you're overthinking it. I overthink everything, Jen Eric. I do. I overthink everything. This channel would be 10 times more productive. I say this channel, me. I would be 10 times more productive if I got out of my own way a little bit. So, but I don't. I'm really bad at that. All right, let's get back on track. We got Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the Australian 5 says, Wes, how is the fund going to have Jim Ryan join AJ for a segment in your Game of the Year awards?
Yeah, not well. But it was a good idea. I don't even know how to contact Jim Ryan. I think he went into seclusion, and I think that other members of the sacred longtime PlayStation team are one by one starting to go to join him. And I don't know where they're going to. They must have some nice country club in Japan somewhere that they all meet up. But it was a good idea. It was a nice idea to have AJ and Jim Ryan meet on neutral territory and hash out their differences.
I mean, I feel like the neutral territory, if it should be a boxing ring, this could be the next Mike Tyson Logan Paul fight, right? Can you imagine AJ in the ring with Jim Ryan?
Oh, my God. I've seen Jim Ryan in person. Like, my money's on Ryan for sure.
Moving on, we got Professor Lilith with the where'd it go? $5 tip says, Hi Game Cats, the December 1st Sunday multiplayer survey is now posted. Choose from Galaxy Kart, Gran Turismo, and Walkabout Mini Golf. Try themed top 10 lists. Professor Lilith, you are not kidding. I think for the next 6 months, I'll probably just put out a list of like the best horror games, the best puzzle games, the best this game, the best that game, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And then we'll do an 8-hour debate in July. It'll be great. Yeah, guys, come join the Discord and make sure you vote on what multiplayer game you want to play on Sunday. Every single Sunday, Professor Lilith gets everyone together. And those games that have been sitting on your hard drive that no one's playing, well, you got a reason to play them now, because we're going to pack those lobbies full. It's going to be great. Yo, real quick, before I forget, like this, I wanted to kick off the show with this, but I'm so scatterbrained right now. Serial Killer, the Game Cat, every year puts together this the charity event for Movember, and so somehow it's the 27th, and I think I've only mentioned this one time. So, but he is leading the charge for this. So here is what he wants you to know about the Movember fundraiser. He says, hello, in the last days of the Movember fundraiser, there will be another Pringles bonus donation and match for $25. Let's see. The bonus day will already be running by the time the Friday show rolls around. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Exciting news from Pringles. If you're waiting to support the Game Cats Movember fundraiser, your time is now, or rather soon. The first eligible participant, I should have read this before the show, Wes. This is really embarrassing. Is to submit or receive a donation of at least $25 to their Moe's space between 9 a.m. Pacific on November 29th until midnight on November 29th. There's a lot of dates and times here. Will be rewarded with a donation of $25 from Pringles US to their Moe's space. You can effectively double your donation of $25, but only for a limited time, so act fast. This is only eligible for U.S. registrants, but if you donate to an individual Game Cat from the U.S., it should still apply. So please, when you go to Movember, please look for Serial Killer's account. Yes. In addition, anyone who donates $25 or more between now and 5 p.m. Eastern this Friday, November 29th, will still be entered to win one of 3 copies of Into the Radius. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far, and best of luck on the giveaway. Excellent. Thank you, Serial Killer. Somebody's got to keep us on the straight and narrow over here, because it ain't going to be me. Looper the Underground Game Cat with the €2 says, Behemoth is far enough. How about a week from now? Behemoth is far enough? Question mark. How about a week from now? I don't understand the question or the statement. So we're just going to say yes.
It is. It is definitely far enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Here's, here's what I wanted. The top 50 is just, I think it's going to be more for new VR gamers, people who just like, I bought a PSVR2 headset from direct.playstation.com, and literally it was in my hands within the very next day, right? Just during this Black Friday sale. They shipped so fucking fast. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, God damn, people are getting their headsets right now. Like, I want to have a list ready for them, right? It's just a good guideline. And honestly, like, I put it together mostly myself. But what I want is what I want is like for when Behemoth is part of the running, and Alien is part of the running, and all these other games are in the running, like games we've been talking about for months, and they'll finally be out next time we do a list. I want to do a debate, right? I want to hear Wes's opinion on every one of these games, and AJ's opinion and Miles' opinion. I want to fight about this stuff, right? That's the fun stuff. So I don't want to wait and then like just throw Behemoth in, number 12 just because we wanted to get it in the list. So, yeah. Fifth says, can Alien or Behemoth beat Gran Turismo 7 for number 1, or does Gran Turismo 7's constant updates mean it will always be on top? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Gran Turismo 7 does get better, pretty much monthly. What do you think, Wes? Is there a game out there that will ever topple Gran Turismo 7's dominance on our top list?
I hope so. Not that I'm saying that there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, it's amazing. But we're only 2 years in now. Like, I'm hoping that we have other Gran Turismos before it's all said and done. So, yeah, I'm gonna say yes, that we're gonna have something amazing in 2025 that makes us forget all about Gran Turismo. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it to fall a little bit on the list. Like, it doesn't have to be like number 10 or anything like that. But it would be great if Aces of Thunder came out of nowhere and was just
Dude,
like,
it would be amazing if Gran Turismo was number 10. That would mean that there's 9 better games than Gran Turismo.
Right? Yeah, I mean, we went through the whole PSVR 1 generation, and the debate almost the entire time was, what's a better game, Resident Evil 7? Because it's just an amazing game that they threw into VR with no VRAF interactions, or Saints and Sinners Chapter 1. That is a good game, or a very good game, I should say, but it has tons of VRAF interactions. That was the debate. If anybody's new around here, goddamn, dude, like, that was always the discussion. And it
still is.
It got old, though. Like, it got old. It was like, bro, why is it always the same 2 games that are neck and neck for number 1? And it's because we didn't get a lot of super top quality, high quality. I mean, we got a lot of great games, but not of that tier. That was just like, platinum level tier. That was Myrrh level tier. It was some crazy shit. So, yeah. Or Astrobot, AJ says, who's dead to him now.
Or Farpoint. Or Blood and Truth, which you guys underrated, but I always held very high.
We underrated it?
Yes. In my opinion, you did.
Oh, the truth comes out. Wes has been holding in these grudges for years. And he's like, fuck those guys. Farpoint deserves way more love than that. And then finally, here it is, 7 years later.
That's why I'm here.
He's like,
it's literally why I'm here. Like, I watched so many of these shows, and I was like, dude, I got to get on here and set these guys straight. And,
yeah, especially AJ. AJ hates Farpoint.
Yeah, I know. I still haven't played Farpoint with AJ. I assumed at some point when I joined the channel that AJ and I would run some co-op, and it still hasn't happened, and I don't understand it.
You are a busy guy, Wes.
That is true. My headset is still plugged up, though. My PSVR1 headset is literally tied up in this cable, but it's literally right there and plugged in and ready to go. Just saying.
Nice. Well, mine will be soon. I keep saying it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon. But every day I say that, we're one day closer to it being the case. I don't even have both PlayStations set up right now, Wes. It's embarrassing. I have my Pro set up and my PS5 OG is just sitting over there connected to literally nothing. I'm working on it. I promise. And this is why if anybody's looking for like, the Trombone Champ review or the Phasmo review or anything else, it's because my personal life has been an absolute mess for the last, 2 months. But like, trying to get everything back to normal this week has been really, really difficult. But we're getting there, and I will get caught up soon enough. Okay. AJ in the chat says he accepts your offer to play Farpoint.
I'm down. So down.
Excellent. All right, man. Let's start the show. Only 30 minutes in. It's pretty much on track, right?
Yep, normal.
Let's do a quick viewer takeover question because, we're fucking around. Why not fuck around a little longer? This is from the Boffin over on our Discord. Remember, guys, you can leave your viewer takeover questions on Discord just by going over there, joining, going to the viewer takeover channel, and leaving your questions there. Get it on the show. He writes, #viewer takeover. Speaking of Sony's financial results, this was back on November 11th. He said, do you take the fact that Sony announces sales figures of PS5 every chance they get, but haven't announced PSVR2 numbers since that one time at the very start to be a sign that they're unhappy with the numbers and therefore the numbers are bad? Do you think we'll ever get numbers for it again? Do you recall how often they announced them for PSVR1? Wes, I feel like we brought this up on the show before. I may have even read this exact viewer takeover question, but I figured because of the current sale, $350, and the obvious surge of interest that people have on PSVR2, it was worth bringing up again.
Yeah. So I don't remember if we've answered all of it in this context or not, but that's a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not just a question. Do I think that that they think the numbers are bad? Not necessarily. I think that, their expectation was probably pretty realistic. They know what they've put into it, and you get in what you put out, or you get out what you put in. But I do think that they may be staying quiet as a general marketing philosophy, like that they know that there's some inflated numbers out there with competitors, and they don't want to make themselves seem inferior to that competitor, so they keep it to themselves, even if the numbers are right where they expected, or maybe even a little more than what they expected. Surely they're a fraction of the tens of millions that Meta are claiming to have out there, so they just keep it to themselves. As far as how often did they announce it before, if I recall correctly, Brian, they did it like once a year before, right? During like a earnings call or something, they would release these numbers.
That might be true. I think that, to my recollection, I feel like they kind of announced it every time they hit another milestone. Like it was like, oh, we're at 5 million now, we're at 4 million now, we're at 3 million. That's not how numbers go. They were going the other way. But like, that's what I remember. But that might just be coincidental, right? It just happened to be another million every time they had to mention it. Maybe they were just selling about 1 million a year or so.
Right. Yeah, I think that was right. Like that, they sold. I don't know. I think they sold 2 or 3 million in like the first year, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to speculate because then it's going to be wrong. And
yeah.
But it seemed annual for whatever reason. It seemed like they shared that annually, and they're not doing that yet, at least. And if I had to speculate why, it would probably be for the reason that I said, that they don't want to make their platform seem inferior or less popular. So yeah, this is my opinion.
Not to break away from this conversation, but I see a lot of people in the chat saying that they're having issues that the ads keep popping up. Dude, YouTube is being a pain in the butt with ads so much lately. I'm just have to turn them off completely when we do live streams now.
It's done that to me a couple times too, where it just automatically enables mid-roll ads, even though I tell it no repeatedly.
Yep. What I think is happening is because there's a connection problem. Every time the stream freezes for people, it's like, well, we're just going to throw an ad in here. You know what I mean? It's like, I think that's what's happening. It's almost like a, accidental interval. So I will make sure that I do whatever I can to adjust that. Sorry, guys. So some shit's out of our control when it comes to YouTube, and like I said, if I just turn off ads completely when we do live streams, it should take care of it. So, yeah, dude, I think I mean, listen, I think Sony's a realistic company. I think that they know that they've got a good headset, that they've got good third party support, that the good things are happening. But they also know that this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. And so they would not have put out a PSVR2 headset after PSVR1 thinking somehow that the numbers are magically going to take off, right? Oh, we're going to sell 10 million right out of the gate, right? These things are going to be back ordered for years. They're going to be difficult to get because scalpers are buying them up, right? I don't think that they ever thought that. I think they are very well aware. More sirens on mine. They're well aware where VR is and where they are in the VR industry. But I would love to, Wes, get some solid numbers on what the back to school sale did and what this Black Friday sale is doing for them. We know that, we get these kind of random numbers like, oh, sales skyrocketed 10,000% over the rest of the months of the year, in the first day of the back to school sale. We hear that, but like, what does that equate to? Right? What, like, did they sell 10,000 because they only sold one a month prior? Like, we don't really know. So I'd love to get some exact numbers for that.
It's super. It would be super interesting to know. Like, it's a question that comes up all the time. People kind of wondering what the numbers and what the player base actually is, and it's a mystery. Nobody really knows. We have our ideas, but nobody knows.
It can't be. It can't be horrible. It can't be horrible because developers are saying their game. A lot of developers are saying their games are selling better on PSVR2 than Quest. So, I mean, it's got to be somewhat comparable to the active Quest 3 user base. That's my guess. All right, man. Let's move along. Over on the PlayStation blog, they posted that Shuhei Yoshida is leaving PlayStation after 30 years. Wes, this is I checked out this interview on the PlayStation blog. It's not the full thing. You can go check the PlayStation podcast for the full interview with Sid Shuman and Shuhei Yoshida. And so I skimmed what's on the PlayStation blog, and it looked pretty good. You know what I mean? It looked like a good read, but there wasn't enough. And so I think I want to go listen to the audio podcast and really hear what Shu has to say, because I think it sounds like it's probably a much longer interview, and they had to chop a lot out because they didn't want to put it all in the PlayStation blog. Any feelings on this? It's a big moment.
Just echoing the general sentiment here. Very sad to see him go. Over the years, as we've become more and more kind of disgruntled with Sony management, I've always felt like Mr. Yoshida has been a champion of what I care about, right? Someone who's out there promoting VR, promoting indie studios, and really helping keep the things that I care about alive in the PlayStation universe. So it's sad to see him go. I hope that this is 100% his decision, just because he's ready to move on to the next phase in his life. And I hope that this isn't some sort of reaction to a diminishing role in the company. And I hope he's just doing this because he wants to have more leisure time and, enjoy the rest of his life, or what have you. But just general sadness to see him go. If we had more dudes like him at Sony, I think VR would be a much more prominent thing at Sony. So all the respect in the world and well wishes to Yoshida-san. But yeah, that's generally my thoughts. I'm just sad to see the guy go.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's the one that got the ball rolling on all of this. You go back to God, what was it? GDC 2015, 2014, when they first revealed Project Morpheus. You know, he was the one on stage talking about it. They showed off the God of War VR demo. I mean, like, it was just an exciting time, and he always seemed to be at the forefront of it. His time, his leadership at PlayStation was always the most exciting time. And, you know, you still see it now. Like, when if you follow him on Twitter, you follow him anywhere, and he's always tweeting about, you know, the coolest new indie game, and you can just tell he's a gamer, like he cares, right? And so he's had an interesting path, because he was pretty much at the top of the PlayStation division, and then he like voluntarily stepped down so that he could focus on what he loved, which was the indie side of gaming, and he loved working with indie developers and promoting indie games, and so, you know, I think that's that's the type of hubris that a lot of leaders don't have in these companies. Say, hey, I want to do what I love, and you know, and the power doesn't go to your head, and you don't start doing stuff that gamers don't care about. You know, it seems like Shuhei's a dying breed, and it's really going to be. I think he's going to be missed, not just by the fans, but by people that work there internally. I think it's a sad day, but I hope he goes off and does bigger and better things somehow.
It's scary. It's scary over time when you see, you know, integral pieces of the PlayStation that we all grew to love, you know, going elsewhere, going away. And, you know, it's pretty obvious that the writing's on the wall now, and that this PlayStation, you know, from here into the future is going to be a new PlayStation. I think we all still kind of want our old beloved PlayStation, but now we're getting a new PlayStation, and that new PlayStation very well could turn out to be the best PlayStation ever. But there's uncertainty there, and I think that when we see things like this happen, not only do we get a little bit sad, but we get a little bit scared because we don't know what the future holds.
It's very true. It's very true. We wish him well. He said he wants to stay in the industry. And so it's weird, right? Is he just going to show up at Xbox and be like, because he says in this interview, he's like, PlayStation's in good hands right now. He goes, so I feel good about leaving. And I said, I don't think you see what we see. Like, I don't feel good about you leaving. Yeah, no, he probably does. It's the corporate line, right? He wants to make sure that he leaves on good terms and he says the right things. And but I have a feeling we're gonna see him someplace very cool very soon. And hopefully it's with Nintendo as they launch their VR headset, and he can take the lead on that. And this channel's gonna change forever.
Xbox VR confirmed.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Me too.
Yep. It's going to be a good time. As long as I don't have to do PC gaming, I think everything will be just fine.
What's the difference? Xbox VR, PC VR, it's the same thing.
That's true. Did you know, Wes, that this is an Xbox? So, at least I made myself laugh. That's all that matters. All right, Wes. One of the cooler things I saw today was that PlayStation has a new promotional video for PlayStation VR2. I don't think it could have come at a better time. So I figured you and I could check this thing out. We could stop it every few seconds and call out if we think they're doing the right thing, the wrong thing, because we have been very vocal about what PlayStation should be doing in order to promote PSVR 2. So let's start off before we even start the trailer. Wes, do you think this is a good step in terms of marketing for the holiday, getting a new YouTube video out, a new promo video? Like, is this the type of commercial you want to see?
Yes, it absolutely is. It's highlighting a lot of great games. These are recent games or games that are about to launch. And it's highlighting the new functionality with the PC adapter. I think this is exactly what they need to coincide with the kind of sale that's going on right now to draw people in. So I think that this is a great promo, well timed, and and generally, I think it's good.
All right, man. Well, let me bring it up. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's so loud. All right, I'm going to turn it down a little bit here. Where is the volume? Oh, it's just loud for me. Did you guys not even hear that? No, you must have heard that. Okay, dude, I turned up the Subside trailer because it went live during Monday's show, and I got a copyright claim immediately. It was just like,
Wow.
yep, like we never have sound going on these trailers, and that was the second I turned the sound up on one, copyright claim, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. Talk about getting a shitload of ads that you can't control. Like an hour and a half episode, right? You're going to get one every 2 minutes, and there's no way for me to turn that off once I have a copyright claim. Oh, you guys didn't hear that? Okay, well then I officially don't know how computers work. But, but I think we knew that already. So, all right, Wes, let's give this a watch. That's what's going on here. Why is this some weird?
Just so you know, screen. I can't. Just so you know, there you go. There we go. No, I can see it.
Oh, because I got the other window open. Crap.
Yep.
Yeah, because I can only control it that way. Crap. All right. Wes, you may have to bring this up on your own side because it's going to disappear every couple seconds here.
Yeah.
Man, we almost had it.
Working on it. Got a link, don't I? And wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, you do have a link.
All right, I got it.
All right, I'm going to start it now. All right, stop right there. Listen, they kick off and they show a lot of cool things, right? Stuff that you want to do in VR. They're showing walking around with guns, and like you don't even know which game's what yet because they're just kind of showing you game after game after game, and I think that's probably a pretty good entryway. I think you want to like just give people like this sizzle reel real fast. Say, hey, look at all these different things that you can do in VR. So I think it's off to a good start.
Yeah, I totally agree. Again, I think that their overall messaging with their advertisements, in terms of format, has been good. Now, obviously, they haven't always made the best choices in titles. Like I think they focused heavily on Ghostbusters for one of them. But no, you're right. They open it up. They stick to their feel a new real, new worlds are waiting type of showcase right at the start. And yeah, good, strong start.
Yeah, you're right. That was the one that they focused on Ghostbusters. I feel like was right around the same time they were focusing on Project Wingman, and it was just like, man, it's like we know because we've played these games. It's like, ooh, this is a rough trailer. But at the same time, it's like I bet there are a lot of people that were like, oh, Ghostbusters. I always wanted to be a Ghostbuster. Right. This could be really cool. So it might work for a trailer. I gotta say, I am super excited for the Midnight Walk, which we are paused on right now. And I am thrilled that this is in here because it just looks like something different. I feel like even though it's not a PlayStation game, right, this just has vibes of like Puppeteer and like that kind of indie era of PlayStation. So them pushing this is very, very cool.
Yeah, this is right down my alley. It's got this dark vibe, and it, with the stop motion, this is, like you said, this is something that's completely new and unique that we haven't experienced before. I think that this is going to be one of the stories of 2025, most likely. And I think it's awesome that Sony sees the potential here as well.
Yep. All right. Let's keep it going. We're only 12 seconds in. All right. I'm already pausing it again. We only made it 6 seconds, Wes. Showing Metro VR and making sure that logo was on the screen. Listen, I think that's so important. I did not know what a big franchise, what a big IP Metro was. I had no idea. Like I'd always heard of it. It was always kind of in the background. People were like, "Oh, you probably like it. You like this kind of stuff." But like I had no idea. Metro fans know what a big deal that is, and so making sure that Metro Awakening, people look it up and they go, "Oh, I can only play this in VR." Suddenly, they're like, "Okay, well, how do I play this? Like, what headset do I buy so I can play this?" It's a good start.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And now, it's almost half price to buy in. Like now's the time. You got to feel like like you said, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And for all the trouble that we've had with Sony's marketing over the first couple of years, they've done enough at this point. I feel like where PlayStation gamers are aware, they're aware of the hardware, right? They're aware of the platform. They just haven't seen enough to buy in yet. So they see these posts and see that the thing's on a heavy discount right now, and then this thing hits and shows them that, hey, you can be in the world of Metro if you want. Um, yeah, again, this is good marketing.
Yeah. Also, there's just in case anyone's noticed, one of my recommended videos keeps popping up when I go down here. I've been watching a lot of scary camping videos and urban exploration videos because this is like supposedly real shit that's happened to people, and it all just looks like a found footage movie. It's great. Like if you ever get bored and just need some entertainment, you do scary urban exploration videos and scary camping videos. There's an endless supply of them, and there's all these channels that just do top fives. It's amazing. Okay, that's it. And of course we got it straight here on Aces of Thunder, which is like, dude, I think it's so important for them to be like, even though, yeah, we wish Aces of Thunder was here already. It clearly got delayed because it says coming in 2025 right here in the trailer. So no longer aiming for Q4, now coming 2025. I think it's so important to have these big titles in this trailer for people to go, oh, what's next? What are we looking forward to? So I don't know, I think Ace of Thunder is going to sell a ton of headsets. I think that's a big deal. It needs to be here.
I think that it's most useful in what we're seeing right here. Marketing materials. I don't know that War Thunder is this gigantic franchise that people are going to buy in on, but I think that showing off highly polished things that like flight sims, you're showing off the strength of VR, things that are only possible to experience in VR, and I think it's smart to highlight something like this, something that looks like this, in what essentially is a VR ad.
What I like, Wes, is that we're watching this, and of course we're only 18 seconds into the 1 minute video, and it feels like Sony took our advice, and I know that's not what's happening. No one's sitting at Sony taking notes and going, "What are these guys who know nothing about marketing?" Well, actually, you know shit about marketing. I know nothing about marketing, and they're not taking notes and saying, "What should we do? How should we promote our platform? How should we promote this headset?" But it feels like when I watched this trailer earlier today, I was like, "Yo, this is exactly what we have been saying needs to happen. Like, talk about these upcoming games, these big marquee titles, in all these different genres, and then also Metro and IPs that people are familiar with. And it's just like we're 11 seconds in or 18 seconds in, and I'm like, this is what I wanted to see. I'm so happy to see this. So
Yeah, hopefully we start to see this thing popping like up everywhere, like on streaming platforms. I would say on television, but I don't watch television, so I wouldn't know it. But hopefully they put some some funding behind this and push it out there and show people what's possible in video games in at the end of 2024.
here we go. I'm hitting play now. All right, stop. Listen, we got and I got subtitles on. I don't know what's going on. Now I can't even get the sound for you guys if I wanted it. Subtitles are off now. We just saw Hitman: World of Assassination and Zombie Army VR, both games coming, assuming Zombie Army VR will be out early 2025. They didn't give a specific date, but we did get a date for Hitman. Again, talk about two more franchises that people are excited about. Again, games, at least with Zombie Army VR, it's a story campaign that you can't play this one anywhere else, right? If like you're a Zombie Army fan, you probably played 1, 2, and 3, or Zombie Army Trilogy and 4, and then Hitman. I'm guessing, Wes, most people have already played. If they're Hitman fans, they've already played World of Assassination. They've already played those games, but the trailer where you see you're playing as Agent 47 in first person and picking up everything and interacting with the world, like that's got to be intriguing for hardcore Hitman fans. That's got to be doing the trick, right?
That's the dream. At least at least the way that I've always thought about VR games, that this has been the dream to be able to literally step in and be completely immersed. And they're focusing on those VR AF elements that are going to set up this iteration of Hitman apart from the previous iterations, right? You see the guy taking the pistol and shooting around a blind corner with it and things like that. This is what we've always wanted. So not only does it, reach out there to the traditional gamer, but the VR gamers that have been pining away for years wanting the ultimate version of this game. So yeah, agreed.
I apologize. There's no audio on the trailer. This is as typical things go here and without Parole. Everything is falling apart, but probably for the best. Probably for the best. So I don't have to try to strip out the music later when I get a copyright claim, as we saw with the Subside trailer on Monday's show. So it's just, it sounds like generic rock music to me, but I'm guessing it's probably something that's popular. It sounds like something that's probably popular right now, but I have no idea.
Let me tell you, as someone who always plays trailer during my numbered episodes,
Yeah.
Anytime I feature a Sony trailer, I get copyright claims. It happens literally every time. So I'm sure the same will be the case here.
All right. So better off then. Better off. All right. Where is my control? Here it is. Let's keep this thing playing. All right, we got Wanderer, guys. We got Wanderer, and this just like Aces of Thunder, I think is confirming that the game is not coming out this year. It had gotten an indefinite delay, and they, I think, smartly did not try to give us any release date. They had said, we just want to put more time into it, more polish, blah blah blah, and then we didn't know if that meant it was coming out in December or if it was slipping into 2025. But I guess this is our confirmation, right?
Yeah, there it is. I'm so of two minds with this game. Like, again, I loved it so much. I don't know what it's doing here. I guess it's here because it looks beautiful, right? It's a beautiful looking VR game. I don't expect that a lot of traditional gamers are going to know what it is, but it does look different, right? There are some amazing looking scenes in the short clip that they showed there. But at the same time, as someone who's played through the original, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that I've done before. So like, we've had this conversation before with Wanderer. Like, they keep delaying it, and I feel like the longer I wait for it, the less excited I am for it. And I don't know. I hope that that's ill-founded, and that when it comes out, I'm just like, oh, now I get it. Now I see what they're doing.
I hope they delay it to 2026, so I've got a whole nother year to forget everything I played a couple years ago.
Right, exactly.
Listen, I think if you're not familiar with Wanderer, then you are so fortunate, because Wes and I are sitting here going, we've already played the game, and we're not sure if we're interested in playing it again, because yes, they've added new puzzles and new content and new areas, and redesigned the environments and the characters and everything, to the fact where it's like it's not even the same game. Even the locomotion is different. Like, they've added climbing and jumping and swimming. It's going to feel like a new game. But if you are blessed to have never played it before, bro, for me, talk about a game that I think might have the potential to be number one on our next list.
I agree with that. If I recall correctly, this was our game of the year. Like, the original one was our game of the year. It was an amazing story-driven puzzle game. The model for how a story-driven puzzle game in VR should be. So yeah, Looper, I agree with all that. Yeah,
we got Looper in the chat, kind of like going off of what you said. You said amazing puzzle game. Looper in the chat says, I think they're adding more combat too. And so imagine if Wanderer, Sirens on my end, kind of became like this more of like this kind of all encompassing, like just kind of like hits more genres than it used to. Meaning like, oh hey, when we talk about amazing first person shooters in VR, we're also talking about Wanderer, which like we would not have done before, right? And so
Right.
like it's just this game where you kind of do a lot of everything instead of just being like, oh, I don't like puzzle games, so I'm probably going to skip it, despite the fact everyone talks about it in high regard and that has an amazing story. A lot of people don't want to deal with the puzzles to experience that story. It could be the everything game, and based on how long they've delayed it, it might end up being that.
Yeah.
Although also
There's
our expectations might be getting too high because of all the delays.
that's the hope, right? Like that they turn this into a real like Uncharted level adventure game that really spans a lot of environments and a lot of different gameplay styles and really fleshes out the rest of the things that they just kind of dipped their toe into with the original version.
Right.
Um, yeah, if it's that, I'm sure it very well could end up at number one on the top of the next list.
Um, so why is it in this trailer? Like, I think I think somebody knows that this has the potential to be that good, right? It might not mean a lot to people who haven't played it yet. Did this never made it to Quest, right? Fragments of Fate will be the
No,
first
it
time
did
it
not.
lands on a meta
Nope,
platform.
that is correct.
Wow. So like a bunch of people are going to figure out how great this game is soon enough. Nice. All right, let's keep going. Play. All right, Legendary Tales, man. No, I don't know what to say. Like this is, this feels like it's a little bit of an older title at this point. Not that it's that old. Did it come out earlier this year? When did this come out?
Yeah, in February, I think.
Wow. So, but again, kind of like this, kind of like necessary game. We're certainly not going to criticize Gran Turismo for showing up in these trailers. So I'm not going to criticize Legendary Tales. Um, this satisfies yet another important space in VR. The multiplayer Diablo style adventure combat dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah, and I think all the rest of what you said there is probably more important than even the multiplayer aspect of it. Like, one of the things that people have loved to do in VR since the dawn of VR is get in there with the sword and a shield and magic and do this kind of hand-to-hand combat. And that's why Blade and Sorcery has always been so popular on the other platforms. And PlayStation never really had its version of that. And with this, not only does it have that, it has so much more. With the large world and the campaign and everything. So I think that what they're doing here is they're basically checking off that box because they know a lot of people want to. If you're interested in VR, chances are you're going to want to play a game like that. And there aren't many of them on PSVR2. And among the ones that are here, Legendary Tales is easily the top one.
And Mad Vegan reminds us the DLC is coming. So like, this is going to be, I think, is going to be back in the conversation again very soon. Also, I
Did
don't know.
you
Like,
did you catch that? I hate to derail our conversation here, but it's kind of what I do.
I love
Um,
it.
did you catch BJ's most recent Discord post that he put out last week?
Oh yeah, AJ and I discussed it on Monday's show. Um,
Dude,
yeah,
dude, I've never seen it. What balls on that guy? Like, I'm walking away from basically a quest port that's about done
right.
on principle because he thinks meta's being predatory. That's incredible. That is wow. What a spine. What scruples this man has.
I agree with you. I just hope it doesn't bite him in the ass somehow. Like like if he's, I hope that Legendary Tales is selling great on PC and on PlayStation VR2, and that it sound and hopefully the DLC will bring in another another revenue stream for them. But I do think it does sound like they're going to have to go non VR, go flat screen for a little bit for a
Oh,
couple
for sure.
releases.
I mean, especially since he's burning that meta bridge.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll reconsider that because it sounds like from what he's saying there, he was able to negotiate a better deal with
yeah.
Meta, but then
That's
he
the
just
crazy
ended up
part.
walking away. He just ended up walking away from it. I do think what he did is potentially important for other indie devs. Because I mean, how many developers are out there that are working with Meta and are taking this money and just think that 50% recoup deal is the deal, right? They don't know that you can negotiate. And now if they see that, now they know.
Right.
So while I probably wouldn't have done it, I certainly respect it. And I hope that he reconsiders, because I think it would be a shame to lose this studio from the ranks of VR, uh, the best VR studios.
Charlie Murphy in the chat says the fact that he did that makes me proud that I paid full price for the game and that I supported it. Yeah, we need more people like that in the industry, man. Absolutely.
Agreed.
All right, boy, we're dragging this thing out now. I didn't mean to. I knew that when I paused it 7 seconds in, it was going to be a long segment, but now it just feels like we're dragging it out. So let's see. We're going to hit play and see what happens. Let's go. All right, hold on a second. Vendetta Forever? Listen, I think this is the first, and not that it's a bad game. You clearly spent a lot of time with this and you had a lot of fun with it, and there's a fun game here. I'm sorry, this should not be in the trailer. It's like you're trying to impress people, you're trying to blow people away. I would rather see Gran Turismo 7 for the millionth time than to see a game with flat shaded polygons, right? No matter how much fun it is. I love Ancient Dungeon. Ancient Dungeon is probably one of my favorite games of the generation. I don't want to see Ancient Dungeon in the official PSVR2 trailer that's trying to sell headsets. You know why? Because this is what people think of when they think of VR. A lot of people tried Quest 2s over the last few years, and they put on the headset and saw this. This is not what you want in a PSVR2 trailer. You want to be showing Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, showing people what PSVR2 is capable of above other headsets. It sounds like I'm hating on this game. I'm not. I'm hating on it being in this trailer.
I see the point. It's not the most visually appealing. Not that it looks bad in the headset. It looks good, but
Yeah.
it isn't the type of thing that you can show 3 seconds of to someone who's never played VR and then like it click with them. With that said, I absolutely love that it's in here, because this is a game that has our fingerprints all over it. Our logos are all over the levels. There's an achievement in there. I don't think I've told anyone yet, but there's an achievement in there called My Mom that is for taking out 2 guys at the same time, which is amazing. Shout out to Meat Space and In Dreams for allowing that.
No, shout out to you for getting that in there. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm so happy. It just went in with an update, by the way. For those of you who've been looking for it, it hasn't been in there until this week. They did mess it up though, and it was initially Wes's mom.
No,
which is not what it's supposed to be, and it may still be Wes's mom, but they are correcting that. It will be my mom with the next update, if it isn't already.
It's phenomenal, man. We always get the weirdest pieces of information when you're on the show. I love it. Random Toxie says,
I was
"Can you play
surprised that they went for it." I'm sorry.
No, I'm surprised too. That's great. Random Toxie says, "Can you show the trailer in one run after the deep dive?" Absolutely. I will definitely. I'll just let it run as we finish talking about it. Just remind me if I'm not doing it. All right, let's see if we can't finish this off. Let's go. Oh, pause again. Okay, listen. We made it 3 seconds, you guys. That was a record. Behemoth. I mean, listen, I know this is not the same as putting like Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution in, right? Because it's got the Walking Dead name stamped on it and like people know what a zombie game is. However, man, like this is such a cool image. The image I paused on, just that sense of scale. I think you look at this and you go, is this like Shadow of the Colossus in VR?
Yes, exactly. And it is. And that's the cool thing. Like, this title has the potential to be a big one for us in VR. And I think that this could sell some headsets. I mean, we're seeing some really adept marketing on the term of Skydance, and they are getting this out there. I mean, they did a Fortnite collaboration. Am I right about that? Didn't they do a Fortnite
Yeah.
collaboration recently?
Yep. They did.
Like they're doing all the right things here, not only to sell their game, but to sell VR to the masses. And yeah, I think you're right. I think this is some of the most compelling footage in this entire trailer, and there's a reason why it's being held for the back half because Sony recognizes that.
Yeah. They want you to walk away going, "What's Behemoth and how do I play it?" Like, yeah. I know that Shadow of the Colossus wasn't like the biggest seller for PlayStation. You know, I know that it got a greatest hits label on PS2, but that means I think it only had to sell like 1 million copies or something like that, which, you know, isn't bad, obviously. But, you know, I think it probably got a lot more attention when they re-released it on PS4. Was that Blue Point Games who remade that? I think that was a big event, and so there's definitely, I think, within the PlayStation audience, there's a lot of love for Shadow of the Colossus, and I think that's what they're playing into here. So I was thrilled to see this, and as you know, Wes, I'm sick of seeing Behemoth trailers, and I'm sick of seeing new footage. Like, stop showing me new stuff, and then of course it pops up here, and I'm like, this is new, I love it. It's like,
yeah, it's okay, Brian. We should literally be playing this any day now. Any day now.
I feel like we should have been playing this days ago. What is happening over there, Skydance?
Yeah,
What's
I
happening
agree.
over
I was
there?
expecting it by now, but
Yep.
yeah, I would hope that we're playing this by the weekend.
Christy in the chat says, "What guys? What do you think about the RE7 PSVR2 leak? Is that real? It's not a leak. It's just misinformation." Listen, if it turns out to be something, we'll be thrilled. But please don't get your hopes up, because when Sony starts bringing Blood and Truth and Everybody's Golf and Farpoint and all those other amazing PSVR1 games over to PSVR2, then they'll think about paying Capcom to bring Resident Evil 7 over. But until then, like, I don't think that's happening. All right, man, talk about sidetracks. I am so caffeinated, Wes. I'm just going to hit play. Yeah, let's go. All right, we need to talk about this. Expand your library of games to play on your PSVR 2 with thousands of virtual reality Steam titles. Listen, obviously most people, I think most people who are watching this own a PlayStation 5 and are interested in PSVR 2 for their PlayStation 5. Was this a good move or a bad move on Sony's part? I have no idea.
I think it's generally a good move. I think they understand their unique marketing position here. You know, like it or not, one of the things that really made Quest the compelling product that it ended up becoming was when they took on PC support, which was not something that they advertised at the beginning when it came out. It was something that got added on through tinkering, and it turned out that it worked well enough that they decided to release it as an official feature. And with that, the Quest became something more than just VR for casuals. And I think that PlayStation has done something very similar here with PSVR2, and I think it's smart. A lot of people don't know that you can use your PSVR2 to play PCVR games, and there's a lot of people out there that have gaming PCs already that just don't want to drop the $1,000 for a Valve Index. And here's you know, this is very compelling for people that have both, right? People that have the gaming PC and have the PlayStation. Now you're showing these people, hey, that not only are you buying in to our library, but you're buying into this massive library of existing Steam VR games. You can play Half-Life Alyx, which you've wanted to play Half-Life Alyx for 6 years. Now you can. And in doing so, you can also play Gran Turismo and Resident Evil and all of these other titles. So yes, I do think that this is a very smart move. Again, maximizing their potential for new owners during this sale.
There's a few people in the chat that I think they're in the same boat as me. Like, I think we all agree this is a good thing to say. Say, hey, if you have a PC, you can expand your library, and there are more games to play. You can use this headset in more places than one. But I agree. 86, the Mad Hatter, Alex Blanco. it should this is weirdly worded, because you gotta remember, when they first said, hey, we're gonna make you able to play Steam games with your PSVR2 headset, there were a lot of people in my comment section saying, oh, that's crazy, we're gonna get to access Steam through our PlayStation 5. Like, I don't know if you remember that, or if you had that, but holy crap, dude, it was weird. It was like crap. Oh, people think that there's no, that's not how this is gonna work. You need a PC, and I think the wording of this in this trailer doesn't alleviate that situation, alleviate that confusion for anybody. So if there's anyone out there being like, oh, right, expand the library of games to play on your PlayStation VR2 with thousands of VR Steam titles. It's like, it
Yeah,
doesn't say
that
anything
is
about.
weird.
It should say play on your PC with the PSVR2.
Well, if you, I don't know where exactly you're paused at. I'm looking at my
Oh, sorry.
screen,
Here, let me.
but
Boom. You should see it now.
here, let me look. So I think what second are you paused on? I'm on 58. Where are you at?
56. I think it's the same thing.
56. All right. So the next screen that they go to has fine print. And the fine print does not say that you need a PC for this. What does it say you need? An internet connection.
Yep.
So I totally get the point, and I think you're correct about
that. Would be pretty crazy though. Would be pretty crazy if they just had a Steam app on PlayStation 5, maybe on PS6. Who knows?
Well, that's what it would be Steam Link. It's exactly what they did on Quest. Oh. There's an app you can get from the Quest store called Steam Link, and it just it automatically tethers to your PC for you wirelessly, and it's seamless. It's easy to use, and it works well.
All right, we read the small print, Scott. Now we can move on. Hopefully we can finish off the trailer if I don't hit pause again, but let's go. Okay, there it is. It says connect your PSVR2 to your PC with the PlayStation VR2 PC adapter. That's yeah, okay. I guess we should have gone a couple extra seconds without pausing. All right, let's finish this off. Let's do this. Any I'll let this play while we talk about it. Anything missing from this, Wes?
I mean, obviously there could always be more. We do have an Alien game about to drop. I feel like that brings with it a significant fan base as well. But I think it's great. You know, obviously, if you run your promos too long, you run the risk of losing the attention of today's end user, which has a notoriously short attention span. The TikTok generation, this is twice as long as they typically can pay attention. So, yeah, if I think, you know, we could have dropped, like you said, the Vendetta Forever and put in Alien there, and it would have been that much more compelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in general, this is a 9 out of 10 promo. This is really good.
I agree. I think for me, Alien is the one that's missing as well, for the same reason that that Metro is in there, and why I think Metro was such a good idea to have in there, because it's just a recognizable IP, and like you know, then it appeals to people further than just video games. It appeals to if anybody that's a fan of the movies sees this and goes, "Oh, there's a new Alien game that's only in VR. That's fucking crazy. I need to check that out." Huge Alien fans, you know. So that and just, I don't know, selfishly, I guess, like I just wish Arcanage was in there.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier.
Yeah, because I think Arcanage looks like it looks different. Like, it's a first person shooter that looks different than other first person shooters. And there's a lot of first person shooting in this trailer that kind of looks, you know, like on surface level, when you're just kind of like blasting from one trailer to another, kind of looks the same.
Yeah, I agree. Arcanage would have been good to have in here. In general, I think it would have been good for them to tease one of their supposedly 2 remaining first-party titles that they're working on. We haven't seen anything first-party from them since launch, and going into a holiday, uh, a significant holiday sale where you're pushing to get new users. I think that could have been something very powerful, especially again because we are selling to PlayStation users here. I think that there's nothing more compelling to those users than giving them Sony IPs in VR. Um, so the fact that we're not getting that now probably means that it's going to still be a little while before they reveal it. Um, but in terms of what I think that they did a very awesome job of representing what the platform is today, which is a lot of big budget, high quality third party support with the added bonus of being able to play Steam VR.
You brought up 2 points that I think are worth mentioning. So, as great as I think this teaser is, or this trailer, or this promo video, whatever you want to call it, I can't believe that there's not a version of this that ends with a screen that says "Get it now, 40% off, $350 with Horizon Call of the Mountain." Like it. I mean, yes, that's not going to be applicable in just another 5 days or so, right? But it is applicable for the next 5 days or so. Like that's very
Oh
important.
no
That's
no
like
no
what's up?
no I'm pretty sure that sale's going on till
December 2nd.
isn't it till I
Oh,
thought
is
it
it
was like
longer?
January. I thought it was January 3rd. Am I wrong about that?
Hold on. I'm going to look up on direct.playstation.com just for so we know the official one. I don't know if it's, let's see. Shop hardware. Do 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 do. Yo. I didn't know this. Yeah, you're right. It's January 3rd, 2025.
Yeah, 6 weeks,
Yes.
bro. Six
So
weeks of this amazing deal.
so even better reason, right? To put a splash screen at the end saying, "Hey, get it for cheaper than it's ever been, $350. Includes Horizon Call of the Mountain." I think that would have been a great way to end it. You know,
Yeah.
especially since like you said, it is going on for so long. That's amazing. Dude, this is going to be so good. I was so nervous that like, oh, I wonder if they're going to put it on sale again for like the week before Christmas or something like that. But it is already going to be on sale all through the holidays. This is amazing. I'm so excited. How did I miss this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
and the other thing, Wes, you brought up where are the other first party games? Now, I know that you're not a believer, but there was that Sony promo video, right? Celebrating 30 years of PlayStation, that live action trailer that did tease. They said, hey, December 5th or whatever it was, right? Was it December 5th, December 3rd? I can't remember. There was that date in the trailer. Are you still adamant that there's not going to be something, that they're not teasing something like a state of play or a showcase or something, the PlayStation experience beginning of
Well,
December?
I got to be honest. I didn't see what exactly it was that you all were um, speculating this from. Like I watched the trailer a couple of times. I didn't notice that date in there. And from watching you guys talk about it, I still didn't get exactly what you were talking about. I saw some dates in there, but nothing that really stuck out as a potential tease for something significant. Um, it is possible. I find it hard to believe that if they were going to reveal something like that's going to be a significant marketing beat for PSVR2, that they wouldn't have done it by now. Like the holiday shopping season is now, right? They're trying to get people to buy stuff now. Like, it just seems that if they had something that potentially game changing, that they would have already done it before they put these trailers and all this marketing material there. But no, it could be. I mean, it certainly could be that they're hoping that the new console reveal or the new console release rather, and the sale will be enough to get an initial wave of new players, and then as that starts to tail off in a couple of weeks, then they come in with the big guns with like a PlayStation showcase or something at the beginning of December, and maybe that has a VR game or two in it that is very significant. Um, Yeah, so it's certainly a possibility. But I've learned a long time ago not to put my hope in that in things like that, because more times than not, you end up disappointed.
For sure, for sure. And you know, and as PSVR2 gamers or PlayStation VR gamers in general, I think maybe, you know, I should just say VR gamers in general, because like, you know, Quest, it feels like Quest 3 is killing it right now because, you know, they had Asgard's Wrath last year, and they've got Batman this year. But it's like, but these big exclusives for any platform are so few and far between that, like, we don't ask a whole lot, right, Wes? Like we like, if Sony revealed one first party game in December, just to be like, hey, just FYI, we're working on Uncharted VR, just so you're aware. You know, like, that would be enough, man. That would be enough. Like, we would be happy. Just be like, hey, thank you. Just thank you for letting us know that, like, somebody somewhere internally is making a game for us. Thank you. That's we don't really ask a lot. We don't expect very much. And so all they really have to do is give us the bare minimum.
We don't expect much anymore. I remember
That's
when we were coming into PSVR2, we were expecting a hybrid game at least every other month. Many of us
That's
expecting
true.
one every month.
Yep.
Yeah, that didn't work out. But yeah, I think at this point, having one big franchise per year is enough. You know, considering we're getting such awesome third-party support, you know, we don't, as much as we would want to be treated like traditional gamers, like, I think most reasonable people understand why that's not possible right now. We're not Meta, who's able to burn money year after year after year trying to build VR. But it would not be nice for them to burn a little bit of money every now and then trying to
Right.
build up their platform.
Yeah. Well, they burned enough money with Concord, so.
That is true.
Let's check in with the cats real quick before we get on to our 4-minute challenge. We got Dead Ringer, the Game Cat with the level 1 membership, says, Happy Thanksgiving. Thankful to be here with you all. I think the same goes for us. Very, very thankful that you guys are here. Thankful that you're spending the week with us. Actually, things have been so frantic around here that I think it was, 3 p.m., like 3 hours before showtime. And I sent Wes a message. I was like, hey, are you traveling or anything for Thanksgiving? I didn't even check in with you to see if we were doing a show or not today. So in case you ever wonder how much preparation goes into these things. We got Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the level 1 membership, says, Cats, Brian, Wes, AJ, have a great Thanksgiving. I was like, why the fuck didn't he say anything to Miles? But then, like, Miles doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. It's against his religion. And because of that, he has to work tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be the one manning the ship tomorrow, while most of us are away. Even though most of us won't really be away, we'll be peeking in from time to time. But it's just going to be a normal work day for Miles, which means he's going to be very busy all day tomorrow.
Yep. All right, man. Do you have a game picked up for the 4-minute challenge?
Oh, I probably should have done that. You certainly gave me enough heads up.
That's all right. I'll check in with the chat while you're doing that. Corey Massey says the Concord jokes are old now, dude. You know what? I think they were old to begin with. It pains me. I think is like sometimes the best way to deal with pain is to joke about it. Like it pains me for their loss. Like we desperately are constantly really trying to tell Sony what they should be doing, and we want them to be spending more time and money promoting PSVR2 in the sense that they should be making more games. And so when, you know, that 400 million that keeps getting talked about, like, we're like, think of all the possibilities. Think of the studios they could have purchased, never mind the games they could have made with that amount of money. So we agree with you, and really just, I think it all just comes out of just fucking pain knowing how much money got wasted. Mischievous Markio says, I wonder if Sony is selling these headsets at cost or if they are losing money during the sale. I think my guess would be that they're not losing a ton if they are. And this is sort of what they should be doing anyway, right? It's always for years and years and years. That's how, like, console manufacturers did not make money on consoles. You always sold the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis or the PlayStation. at a loss in order to get it in as many homes as possible. The install base was more important than making money on the console. And then you make money on the games. You make 30% on every single game that's made third party. And that's where the money comes from. And so, you know, this is important. It's important for them to drop the price so low that, yeah, maybe they are taking a loss on it here and there, but in order to get into more houses. So it seems to be working too. It seems to be working. But that Parole was pretty stagnant for a little bit, a good chunk of the year. You know, they were during the high points of this might be too inside baseball for most people to care about, but I'll tell you anyway. During the high points of PSVR1, when you go back to like the Skyrim days, right? Skyrim came out that holiday season. Was it 2018, 2017, I'm guessing? Dude, I was getting like 50 to 100 subscribers a day for months and months and months at a time. I mean, it was 2017, right? And then here we are, like PSVR2 is killing it. We got lots of great games on the way, and it's like, you know, it's like a few subscribers a day. But right now ever since the sale started, about 2 or 3 days before the sale started, we're starting to get those numbers again, 50 to 100 a day. So it's like kind of like a resurgence for the channel along with PSVR2. So, did you figure it out, Wes?
I did indeed.
Oh, good. That's stalled long enough. All right, man. Well, then let me bring up the 4-minute timer. Guys, I'm going to need your help in the chat. Please give me good questions to ask Wes. We got an infinite number of yes or no questions, but only 4 minutes to figure out what PSVR1 or PSVR2 game he's thinking of. I got to bring my notepad up because I've got a bad memory. So let me bring this up and I can take notes. All right. On my mark, get Des, go. Do you do a lot of shooting in this game? Gun shooting.
No guns.
Do you shoot bows and arrows, or do you shoot arrows from bows? No. Do you shoot magic?
No.
Do you attack things in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, technically you do.
Technically. Okay, is this on PSVR 1?
It is.
Is it also on PSVR 2?
It is.
Whoa. Is it on Steam or Quest as well?
It is.
Okay. Good. Okay, is it a puzzle game? Mostly?
Yeah, I would call it a puzzle game.
Okay. Puzzle games. Mark, I was wondering if it's from a known IP.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting. Is the IP from outside of video games?
Not primarily. There's probably some properties outside of the video game bubble, but it's mostly known as a video game IP.
Okay. All right, let's think about this. I can't. The number of games that are on PSVR 1 and PSVR 2. Are there multiple games in the series?
There are not multiple games in the series. There are multiple games in the franchise. So I don't know how to answer that question exactly, but
okay.
That's
that's all right. I think okay. Let's just ask this: is it a Tetris game?
It is not.
Okay, well, it takes care of that. I was on the same page as you guys in the chat. Okay. PSVR 1 and PSVR 2. Is there rhythm elements to this game?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Man. PSVR 1 and PSVR 2, there's just not a ton of those. It's a puzzle game with some sort of combat-ish. Oh, Turk says, is it horror?
No. There's some spooky elements to it, but I would not consider it a horror title.
Okay, that's fair. Uh, is it a sim game? Does it have a thief sim or a job sim or any kind of sim
No,
game?
no,
No.
nothing like that.
All right. Do you have full locomotion?
No,
No. Uh, is there any third person elements?
no.
Not Moss, you guys. Um, can't be the room, right? Because uh, is this by Vertical Robot?
No.
Hmm. Okay, so it's not Red Matter. It can't be the room. Um. Well, let's make sure it's not the room. Uh, is this a VR version of a series that was primarily on mobile devices?
Yes.
Oh, crap. We've only got 8 seconds, so I'm just going to guess. Is this a Room VR Dark Matter?
It is not.
Oh,
The
what
room
is
VR
it, Wes? Give it to me, baby.
This
Uh-huh.
from Resolution Games
Resolution.
is Angry Birds VR
Oh my
Isle of Pigs.
God. That is so irritating because that's like, that should have been easy. That should have been easy.
It should have been easy, but I threw you off by with the spooky mode stuff that you probably didn't think of right off the top of your head. And then when you asked the mobile question, you basically screwed yourself.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Looper says, "Why can't it be the room?" It couldn't be the room because there was no combat in the room, and there was some sort of combat, and it all makes sense now. This is actually a really fun
says
game.
it's shooting though. He specified shooting guns, then shooting bows and arrows, and then shooting magic, and you don't do any of that stuff in this game.
Right.
You shoot slingshots.
Yep. No,
By the way, Mark Pringlesleaf got it forever ago.
Oh, Mark. I'm sorry. I try to pay very close attention to the chat because there's no way I can do this on my own. And I'm sorry that I didn't see it because if I had, well, then I probably would have gotten it. Real quick before we get out of here, let's check in. We got cats here in the chat. We got Don Can 94 with the 2 Chieftain says rank Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, Brian. Halloween number 1 by far. And then way down the list on number 50 is New Year's Eve. And especially since I'm sober and boring, like it used to be a ton of fun. Went to like crazy parties back in the day, especially dude, Wes, I don't know where you were in 1999. A lot of these people in the chat weren't even alive in 1999.
I know exactly where I was in 1999.
But when we didn't know what the year 2000 would bring, it was like, dude, you just better fucking party tonight because we have no idea what tomorrow will bring. Are all the banks going to be shut down? Is the Y2K bug going to affect everything? Is the world going to be in chaos? Is the second coming of Christ happening? Like, we just didn't know, right? So we're like, we better just do drugs.
Yep. That was before people understood that the media was propaganda. And the media basically convinced everyone that the end of the world was coming because some coders didn't know how to properly program date formatting into software. I mean, how stupid is that? Like, how did we ever even think that that was a possibility? But people were convinced, and you're right. People were just like, fuck it, let's party.
Thanksgiving is way down the list for me because I don't know, man. Like a holiday that celebrates just eating a shit ton of food. It's like, I don't know, man. Like it's fine, but like that doesn't excite me. And then I hate Christmas. I really do. I hate Christmas.
Again, most people forget the actual meaning of like Thanksgiving isn't supposed to just be about eating a shit ton of food.
But it is though, right? I mean, that's what it's become.
Well, that's because we live in America and everything's about, selling things to people. And right now it's about selling turkey and we're about to start selling gifts to people. But the true reason for the season is to have some gratitude for the blessings in your life. And I think that we all, especially as we get older in age and more, mature, can appreciate the good things that we have. So, and that from that aspect, I'm like you, like that it's nice to get together with people and have a nice meal. But you should be grateful that everyone's around the table, because last year at this time my dad would have been having dinner with us. This year he's not. But I'm very much grateful for the ones that are here, and able to participate. And like I said, as you get older, you appreciate this stuff more and more.
It's a good reminder, Wes. Good reminder to appreciate everyone that's still in your life while they're here. My problem, if you could call it a problem, is that I don't need holidays for that. I see everybody I care about in my family very, very frequently. I see my parents a couple times a month minimum, and it's the extended family, Wes, that I just want to blow my brains out instead of seeing. And so, if it wasn't for family, these holidays would be great. No, but yeah, like I said, it's just they say you pick your friends, you can't pick your family, and I don't think that's ever been more true than in my family. So I always breathe a big sigh of relief when Christmas is over, Wes, because I go, oh, we don't have to do that for another 11 months when Thanksgiving rolls around again. So, which is why Halloween kicks ass. I get to hang out with my friends. We play horror games. We watch horror movies like for 2 months leading up to it. If you guys are in our Discord, you know that like the party starts like fucking September 1st, right? Like we're just like, oh, it's October, and I'm still not over it, man. I feel like October is like a season for me. It's not a month. Like all of Halloween is like all September, October, November. So, but yeah, I don't know.
It has become the season where I talk about playing a bunch of horror games and end up playing 3 of them.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Game Cat with the $5 tip, says, running crazy late because of the holidays. Going to watch on replay. Happy Thanksgiving, guys and cats. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Kill Artist. That's going to do it. We got to get out of here. Wes, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm very thankful for you. I'm thankful for my co-hosts. I'm thankful for the cats. Thankful to all my moderators who keep my sanity level stable daily, not just over here, but over on Discord. So come join our Discord, everybody. Thanks to RyPop for getting stuff on podcast services of your choice. Thanks to Waleed and Rhodey, the GameCat Army General, for getting timestamps into the show. Thank you, everyone that supports the channel financially, not just over here by being a member, but over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames. Thanks to everyone who tips during the show. Really, really, really appreciate it, you guys. But money will always be secondary. We're so happy that you're here, part of this community. Thanks for being here in the chat, hanging out on Discord. Thanks everyone who helps out during 20 questions, shoots the shit, keeps us entertained while we try to keep you entertained. And there's that whole other group, Wes, who sits back, watches the show, doesn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. I used to be one of you, and we love you just as much. And Wes used to be one of you too. Happy Wednesday, Wes.
Happy Wednesday, Brian. Happy Wednesday, cats. Happy Thanksgiving. Everybody go have some pie. Everybody loves pie.
Apple pie?
Absolutely.
Pumpkin pie?
Maybe not so much.
Let's go. All right, Wes, let's take a look at what happened in this week Without Parole history. Let's see. I don't even know. We're in 2024. Let me scroll all the way down to November. Oh, God, we could go 2021, 2022. We could try to decipher some what are these called? Thumbnails without any words on them from 2019. We go last year, 2023. Dude, we have like really anywhere from 2019 to 2023. You just give me a number and we'll roll with it.
Let's do 22. We normally do 21. But let's shake it up. Let's do 22.
All right, here we go. Let's see what was happening this week in history. 2022. wait. Are there suddenly too many launch games? Oh wow. Okay, Cooking Simulator coming to PSVR1. That's two very different topics. So we were gearing up. We knew the launch date for PSVR2 at this point. This
Yeah.
is wow, dude. Look, we always do this, and it always like it's almost laughably bad by like how we were just killing time before PSVR2, and then here we are. It's like the excitement was definitely brewing.
Yeah. This would have been prime time. I think it would have just literally just had been announced, and that we were already complaining about having too much to play months before we ever got the first game.
Not to pat myself on the back, but this is a fucking kick-ass thumbnail. I want to say that it's also inaccurate because we didn't know. Obviously, a lot of it's taken up with Horizon Call of the Mountain, but in the top left-hand corner, that's a character from Switchback, I believe, and that ended up not being a launch game, got delayed. And then the bottom right, Undead fucking Citadel, still not out 2 years later. What is going on? Oh my god, you gotta love it.
I think it's funny too because we still talk about Undead Citadel week after week after week, even after saying we're not going to talk about it anymore. We still find ways. It's the second time today we've talked about it. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But I love it, man. I love it. Like, I know I've talked about this before, but this reminds me very much of when I go back to like old electronic gaming monthlies, and they're like hyping up this game that's supposed to be coming out in just a couple months on PlayStation 2 or Dreamcast, and then just fucking disappears. Right? It's like the same kind of vibe. It's like, oh, we thought we were months away from Undead Citadel. I think for the last 7 years we thought we were months away from Undead Citadel, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Maybe it has been abandoned.
Oh, you know what?
Abandoned.
Like abandoned? abandoned? No, you guys in the chat, I totally wasn't paying attention to this for some reason, but yeah, kayak is obviously a big part of Kayak VR Mirage, is a big part of this thumbnail. Because for whatever reason I was thinking, oh, the river raft ride in Call of the Mountain is what we're seeing here, but no, this is clearly Kayak VR Mirage along with Horizon. Good stuff. All right, let's get out of here. Long show. We love you guys.